This is from a book called Encyclopedia of Occultism by Louis Spence. This is an old book and it has something very interesting to say about the origin of the Illuminati. This is what he said. The term used first of all in the 15th century by enthusiasts in the occult arts signifying those who claimed to possess light directly communicated from a higher source, or due to a larger measure of human wisdom. We first find the name in Spain about the end of the 15th century. Its origin is probably a late Gnostic one hailing from Italy, and we find all sorts of people, many of them charlatans, claiming to belong to the Brotherhood. In Spain, such persons as laid claim to the title had to face the rigor of the Inquisition, and this is perhaps the reason that we find numbers of them in France in the early 17th century, as refugees. The Spanish Illuminati was called the Alumbrados, and it was a term used to loosely describe practitioners of a mystical form of Christianity in Spain during the 15th and 16th centuries. Some Alumbrados were only mildly heterodox, but others held views that were clearly heretical. Consequently, they were firmly repressed, and became some of the early victims of the Spanish Inquisition. The historian Marcelino Paleo 1880 is the source of this information, and he found that the earliest mention of the Illuminati, in the form of Aluminados, occurs in 1492. The Alumbrados believed the human soul can reach such a degree of perfection, that it can even in the present life contemplate the essence of God and comprehend the mystery of the Trinity. All external worship, they declared, is superfluous, the reception of the sacraments useless, and sin impossible in this state of complete union with God. Persons in this state of impeccability could indulge their sexual desires, and commit other sinful acts freely without staining their soul. The Catholic and Spanish and Christian sources for this information are biased, but they reveal these beliefs are Gnostic. The Gnostics believed that salvation was through rediscovering the soul, and becoming it again, and there is no salvation in any external and earthly organizations. This belief didn't earn them any support from the Catholic Church. The movement going by the name Illumines seems to have reached France from Seville in 1623, and attained some following in Picardy, when joined 1634 by Pierre Guérin, whose followers, known as Guérinites, were suppressed in 1635. The Illuminati existed 300 years before Adam Weishaupt created the Bavarian Illuminati in 1776. According to this encyclopedia, the Gnostics have more of a claim to the name the Illuminati than Adam Weishaupt did. It appears that Adam Weishaupt took the name Illuminati from other groups. The word Illuminati was used for the first time in the late 15th century. What ancient book was translated in the second half of the 15th century? The Hermetica. This passage from chapter 10 of the Hermetica could have been the inspiration for the word Illuminati. Indeed, my child, would that we could. But we are still too weak now for this sight. We are not yet strong enough to open our mind's eyes and look on the incorruptible, incomprehensible beauty of that good. In the moment, when you have nothing to say about it, you will see it, for the knowledge of it is divine silence and suppression of all the senses. One who has understood it can understand nothing else, nor can he move his body in any way. He stays still, all bodily senses and motions forgotten. Having illuminated all his mind, this beauty kindles his whole soul, and by means of body draws it upward, and beauty changes his whole person into essence. For when soul has looked on beauty of the good, my child, it cannot be defied while in a human body. The mind's eye in this passage means the third eye, which was very important to the ancients, and the symbol of the third eye is used in Freemasonry today. The mind's eye is connected with illuminating the mind, and becoming spiritual by suppressing the body so the spirit world can be seen. This is what meditation is about. Gnosticism and the Hermetica have similar concepts, and they are both about resurrecting the soul and becoming it again. The word Illuminati sounds Italian, because a lot of Italian words have the letter I at the end of them, and Louis Spence did say that the Illuminati probably originated with Italian Gnostics. The Renaissance did start in Italy, and there was a rediscovery of knowledge from the ancient world. This was the Enlightenment and the end of the Dark Ages.